Dr. Daliah.
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
That is what I am talking about. This is the Dr. Daliah Show. Yes, I had to think about it for a second. Sassy and stimulating medical talk radio. It is Dental Day. Dental Day on the Dr. Daliah Show. How about that? I love Dental Day. Definitely want to get to all your dental questions. There has been a lot of buzz about this company. There's a national company called Store a Tooth, and a lot of people are talking about this where they actually will store your children's teeth and your teeth because they contain stem cells. We can actually now get stem cells from the teeth. All right, for those of us that missed the boat when we had our placenta and our cord blood, my kids were born right before all that happened. I did save the placenta. I like the placenta a lot. We actually chopped it up into little pieces, threw some mayo on it, celery. I served it to my mother-in-law next to her gefilte fish. It actually tasted the same as her gefilte fish, but that's what I do with my placenta. But now we didn't do anything with the stem cells. So I want to talk about that. A lot of buzz about the store tooth. I want to talk about that. I wish in medical school we learned more about teeth because, then I wouldn't have to sit here and go, duh. Yeah.
Yeah, not unusual. I mean, we have lots of doctors that, send someone over to our office for something that they should be able to pick up. I mean, you would think they'd had that in medical school, but that's what we're there for.
Yeah, I got maybe 4 hours of dental in all of my medical training. And I've learned the most from you and your brothers, which I'm really grateful for, Dr. Joshua and Dr. Stephen. So thank you. So what is all this buzz about now stem cells with teeth? And I guess you could store the teeth. And the only company I know that's doing that now is they store a tooth. Thank God they're called Store a Tooth because I wouldn't remember the company because I guess that's what they do. They store teeth. What is all that?
Well, basically, they found out that there are stem cells in the dental pulp and the periodontal ligament, which is the tissue that connects the tooth to the bone. And they found out that they can take and harvest these stem cells and then use them for possibly in the future for different types of things. They're using them for studies right now in diabetes, spinal cord injury, muscular dystrophy, Parkinson's, myocardial infarction. People who've had heart attacks, maybe using them to try to
regenerate the heart.
Regenerate the heart muscle.
Yeah.
Bone loss, connective tissue. They've actually have grown mandibular bone from these cells. So maybe someone who's had periodontal disease and bone loss can use this to regenerate the bone, regenerate tooth structure, regenerate a tooth. I mean, it's unlimited at this point. It's a very early stage of research that's going on. But what Store a Tooth basically is a company that will take and cryogenically store these teeth in a safe environment, and they verify the vitality of these stem cells. And you can have your dentist or oral surgeon can take these teeth out, and they're stored. They're sent within 24 hours to them to get evaluated, to get processed, and to be stored cryogenically. And then you would be responsible on a yearly basis just maintaining them. Down the road, these cells might be very useful in helping cure different diseases. Now, the biggest thing right now they got going on, one of the largest ones, is diabetes. And if you have a parent, if you have diabetes, you have a very good chance your children may also have diabetes. Well,
I know we really can't choose our parents. I wish we could because I'd smack mine upside their head.
I'm happy
for what they gave us.
I'm happy with mine.
I love my mom, but man, could they have given me any less cancer and any less heart disease and a smaller butt? Yeah. If my parents could have given me a smaller butt, I think I'd send them more birthday cards.
Well, the thing is with the stem cells is that it's very young, and it is a lot of ongoing research. There's some here in our city and in many states across the country that are doing stem cell research. Every week we're hearing new things that stem cells from the dental pulp may be able to be used for. But again, it's not the controversial stem cells that we've heard about over the years. It's our own stem cells.
Yeah, they're killing embryos for this, and they are killing,
Right.
your teeth. It's fascinating. You brought up osteonecrosis of the jaw. Right. That's a big thing with these bone loss medications, like Fosamax, right. Boniva, Actonel. So this could actually possibly regenerate your own jaw.
Regenerate and reverse the effects of the bone loss and periodontal disease. So, I mean, there's many ways that bone loss can occur. So we have to try to come up with solutions, and this might be one of our solutions.
For those of you just joining us, this is the Dr. Daliah Show. Yeah, that's me. Mm-hmm. Hi. And we have Dr. Michael Saxe here talking about stem cells and teeth, and we're answering all your dental questions. Just as an aside, there was an article that came out saying women on these bone drugs, these Fosamax and Actonel, et cetera, they actually live longer. Now, remember, over the past few months, there's been a lot of bad publicity about these bone protector medications for osteoporosis because of jaw necrosis. And now they're saying people on these medications live longer. I mean, my guess is it's because they probably go to the doctor more often, get checked. But this, if we're using stem cells, if they get to the point where they could, very quickly, I guess, discover how to regenerate the bone, we could have these people on these medications without the fear.
That's correct. So, and there's many opportunities to get the stem cells from teeth. Of course, we can do it from the baby teeth. When the child is just starting to lose their teeth and they're getting loose, is the best time to do it. You don't want to wait until the tooth actually falls out and then put it into this collection container and set it off, because it's not going to have as much vital stem cells to them.
You need it when it's all bloody and you have that pink pulpy meat.
There you go.
So
that's one opportunity. Another opportunity is if a child needs to have a tooth extracted for orthodontics, which is a very common thing. That's a great time because there's still good root structure. Again, there's good pulp structure, periodontal ligaments and tissues, the tissues that connect the teeth. Those are all areas that we can use for harvesting the stem cells. Another opportunity is the wisdom teeth.
I was going to ask adults.
Yeah,
yes.
Adults still have their wisdom teeth, and there are stem cells in them as well, too. So the oral surgeon, if he's going to take out your wisdom teeth, that's an opportunity also to do it. Now, the problem is with that is a lot of times people don't take their wisdom teeth out until they're infected. By then, it's too late because if there's infection around these teeth, the infection is going to destroy the stem cells. So a tooth needs to be healthy in order to be used for processing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I have some 46-year-old men listening right now saying, well, why don't I just take one of my teeth now? I mean, is that a good strategy? It
is possible. Again, the teeth would have to be processed to make sure there are vital stem cells in there. But the older you are, the vitality and the levels of them can decrease greatly. So again, most of the time, my practice when I have a kid who has wisdom teeth between age 15 and 17 is when I like to send them to the oral surgeon to get them out before they get impacted to the point where there's infection occurring and there's issues. Now, that's a great time to get those teeth out and use them for stem cell.
Okay.
And, storage tooth can store up to 4 teeth, so you can do all 4 of those teeth and store them in a storage tooth container and send them off, and they'll process that, and it's all included up to 4 teeth.
See, what I see it as an advantage, and now you don't have to do the whole tooth fairy thing. Not that the tooth fairy exists, but now you don't have to contact the tooth fairy. Right. You don't have to leave a plate of cookies or stockings by the door.
With storage tooth, we take and give you a certificate. So when the tooth fairy does come to your house, you put that underneath your pillow, and he or she will still leave you something.
Now, what language is it in? Because some tooth fairies, like Mexican tooth fairies, solo habla español.
I think it's in maybe 6 different languages. I don't know.
And a Chinese tooth fairy, they got to make sure that that's right. I know there's some kids listening to the show.
We'll have to talk to the company about giving us a selection of different languages to put it in.
Exactly, because that tooth fairy is very important. I love that movie. You've had Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
He was the sexiest tooth fairy I've ever seen. Dang, he was good looking. All right, for those joining us, we are talking about the teeth, joined by Dr. Michael Saxe, pediatric dentist. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, glad to be here.
Great. So in the first segment, we were talking about stem cells and being able to take them from teeth and storing them. I only know of one company that stores them. I forgot to give their information out. If you guys want to look it up, it's called Store a Tooth. So go to storeatooth.com, and I guess that's what they do. They store a tooth. Fascinating stuff with stem cells. News came out a few months ago, like Dr. Saxe had brought up, that they could actually now use stem cells to help produce insulin. So this could really help fight diabetes later. So I'm really hoping that this whole stem cell research that they could do with your own stem cells kind of takes off.
Well, diabetes is a big research for them. And again, there's 15,000 children diagnosed with type 1 diabetes every year. So, if there's a family history or anything like that, I mean, this might be a good opportunity to put these cells away if we are going to be able to, produce insulin with these cells and maybe, enter them somehow into the system to produce insulin. And, kids who do have diabetes, or if they're going to have a history, be able to monitor them and use these stem cells in the future if it's going to be a problem for them. So,
well, a big topic on this show is healthcare and Obamacare and access. And I think the truth of the matter is we're going to be going towards a more socialized type of medicine. I'm not happy about it in the least. But, once you promise everybody that they're going to get health care, you have to do it. You have to make good on it.
Right.
And the big problem that we are lacking with Obamacare is any dental coverage.
Right.
And so, I don't want to have my hopes that there's going to be a Petri dish with my name on it in 20 years. I kind of like the idea that this is yours. I mean, nobody can rob this store tooth place, right? I mean, I mean, it'd take my tooth.
I don't know. If Fort Knox can get robbed, maybe anything can. But
I'm sure they got a good lock.
We're robbing on it every day, pretty much. So
yeah, and nobody's going to want to rob my teeth because then they'll get Dr. Daliah stem cells.
Exactly.
And they may grow big boobies or something.
It's a certified facility. I mean, to maintain this, they have emergency systems if there's power outages and everything else. So again, it's very secured. It's a just like anyone who secures their spinal cord, their umbilical cord blood or anything, it's the same type of facility with the same backups and everything to maintain those things. So it's a great opportunity. It's a second opportunity for a lot of people who weren't able to do umbilical cord blood.
And I'm sure there's some people out there that still have the umbilical cord just kind of hanging around the house. Too bad that's old, all dried up.
Make a whip out of it or something.
Yeah, whip those kids.